Hey, so we were thinking about this. We just wrapped up round 1 of our coaching program, Momtog Mastermind. And our last week is all about setting goals, intentions, and also just how we can follow up with our students because, well, we love them. And we want to make sure that when you do coaching with us, like small plug, like this is personal, this is one-on-one.
We never want to stop yapping at you.
Yes, we want to see you win. So that's why, like, okay, the offboarding process for us, we want to set your goals so we know how we can follow up with you to hold you accountable and to get you where you want to go.
Yeah. So today we really wanted to talk about like setting those goals, reaching those goals, and just hustling, you know?
Yeah, because we wanted to have a conversation about like, yeah, we're not all about the hustle culture, but there are seasons of hustle. And I know we were talking to our students about it, and it's just something that I feel like you have to do every once in a while to get where you want to go.
And there's ways to hustle without burnout.
Yeah.
Like hustle doesn't mean you're not resting. It like there is a way to hustle while also like being strategic about how you're using your energy while doing it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I know because like all of them were so unique too. I love them so much. If you guys are listening, like we are so proud of you.
So proud.
And it's all of their unique traits. Is that the word I'm looking for? Yes. They all had like a unique follow-up that they needed. And like some of them, it's like, okay, they just need someone that's like, hey, did you do this today? Hey, how's your admin days coming? And like some of them were just like, please talk me off a ledge.
Yeah. Well, and the thing I love about the personal coaching and like the one-on-one aspect is you get to see everybody's different strengths and then the places that they need that like confidence and somebody to just say, no, like you are good at this. Like, here's how to do this. Like, here's how to walk through this. And just to see everybody like where they're at and then to like learn where they need to push.
Mm-hmm. And I swear, we're not just like plugging Momtog Mastermind, but it made me think about this topic about where we need to hustle. Mm-hmm. So like in my mind, this year, we set the intention that this is a hustle year for us because we launched the podcast in December. We wanted to grow the podcast and then we wanted to start coaching together, not just separately. And then we launched that and then we have more ideas and it's just like,
we have more things.
We know our students are watching us hustle like crazy while also like children.
Yeah.
But we also wanted to tell our students this isn't normal all the time, 24/7.
No, there are times where you kind of like can get your business in a place or where you are okay just being like, you know what, I'm going to coast for a minute. Mm-hmm. Like, and we've had that. We've had seasons of hustle, seasons of coasting, seasons of rest. And like, there is a place and time for all of those seasons.
Between maternity leave, if you have a hard pregnancy, mm-hmm. between like, I just need a break, I just need to step away, between like, I just finished my wedding season and my body hurts.
And I also want to talk about like when you have to pivot.
Yeah,
there are times where you have to pivot and there are times where you have to try something new. Like I know regardless of like, you're listening to this and you're thinking like, oh, I tried one thing and this used to work and now it doesn't work. Like those are the times where you have to pivot or when you realize that what you were doing before isn't working the way that it used to, mm-hmm. and just kind of navigating through those seasons.
Well, and I know we just had this conversation last week because I forced you to go and put everything in the spreadsheet. And then, yes. you were like, oh, well, this isn't working. And I'm like, wait,
calm down.
Don't panic.
Don't panic.
It's giving you all the data. Let's try this. Let's try that. And then like we back and forth, we do that to each other all the time. Like my whole business is burning down. And then it's like, nope, just 1 second.
Yeah, just stop. Well, sometimes when you're in it, like you need somebody that's outside of it mm-hmm. to see inside because you're just like this, but you need that perspective that's like, actually people are seeing it like this, or have you tried it like this? And it is really helpful to have that.
So if you're hustling really hard to grow your weddings, you're trying to get wedding bookings, let's give them some ideas. Yeah. Let's give you an idea.
How to hustle in a way that is like attainable mm-hmm. and realistic.
But at the same time, I want to preface this. If you're not an extrovert, some of these might be uncomfortable, but if you want to grow, we got to do some of them.
Inside comfort zone.
I'm in my comfort zone in this couch right now.
Dude.
But like, okay, seriously. We're not serious. Uncomfortable things to grow weddings right now. I feel like I have to say this off the start. Running ads is a Band-Aid, but the Band-Aid will only work if you've already been sewed up.
It can be a quick win, but it's not your business plan. Like you have to have other things that will help. Like you can't just run your business off ads. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, it is like helpful and it's great, but it's not the long term.
If it gets some cash in the door quick and then you can go do something else, that's awesome. But I don't ever want students or anyone coming to us asking about like, hey, can you help me with this, this, or this? It's a great quick win, but we have to still work on the other things so that like you are still present and on people's minds organically.
Well, and here's the thing, and this might be a whole other tangent, but it's great if you're getting inquiries and you're like, yes, I'm running ads, I'm getting inquiries, I'm getting leads. But then what? Like, do you know how to serve your client? Do you know how to follow up with your client? Do you know how to like take them through your workflow? Do you know what you're doing? Like, there are so many other aspects to getting leads and bookings and hustling.
But then taking care of them.
And then taking care of them. There's so much more to it than just getting leads. It's great if you can get leads, but can you convert them?
Right. Okay. So that I had to start that one off. But otherwise, I feel like the biggest thing right now, and I feel like we're not the only ones talking about it, and I have said this since AI has really infiltrated the industry. Wow, I said that word perfectly. Connections, human connections.
Yep.
Even though I utilize AI and random things, I still value human to human connection. I still value the human to human business and having someone do something for me. Yeah, a computer probably can do certain things for me, but there's no mental connection there. And so humans are going to value the in-person networking, and they're going to trust you if you give them a reason to. If you are vulnerable and you go, hey, I'd love to photograph your venue. I'd love to connect with you. I'd love to like meet up and do like these pictures here or that. And don't make it fake. People can see right through that. But it's like, if you are like, hey, I'm trying to grow in this area, I'd love to photograph in this area. Do you like, I'd love to write a blog. Like, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. Not in a using sort of way, but in a, hey, let's do this together sort of way.
Right. Well, I did this last January or February, where I put in the legwork and drove to these cities that had venues and planners and coordinators and everybody that I wanted to work with. And I went to Des Moines. It was like a 2.5 hour drive for me. And there was a week where I went back and forth like 3 times. Literally one of the times was to have a 10-minute meeting. Like, I drove 2.5 hours.
One way,
sat down, met with this venue. They put me on their list. We chatted. It was great. It was like 10 or 15 minutes. And then I drove all the way home.
Now what? No.
But guess what? I got an inquiry from them. Like, the in-person connection. Our brains are high-wired.
High-wired.
They're hardwired for community and connection. And it's going to help you stand out. People are going to remember that so much more than if you sent them a DM on social media. Like, how often are you scrolling or getting a comment or something from somebody and it like sticks?
I was going to say, how often are you forgetting about the DMs?
Yes, literally. That's what I'm saying.
And like, I should check those.
Like, okay, Daniel and I were sitting at a restaurant the other day, and there was a kid like on their phone with their grandparents, and the grandparents were like, hey, could you put the phone down? Like, he like pitched a fit about it. But then afterward, we were like, he was scrolling, and we're like, is he going to remember any of that? Like, is he going to remember every single thing that he saw? And so anyway, that is to be said that like, we don't always remember content we laughed at or like messages that we got, but you do remember the in-person. Like, those have an impact on you, and first impressions are such a big deal that those in-person meetings and connections are huge.
Yeah.
And it's going to set you apart because not very many people are doing it.
I know it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to make friends and make connections, but like, the more you keep doing it, the more you keep putting yourself out there, the more you keep posting in your local photographer groups. The more you keep posting in those groups and showing up to the coffee meetings, like, we have never said you're going to instantly make friends. That one, I've never been able to instantly make friends, but people are going to like, oh, she did this cool photo shoot, or they did this thing together, or, oh, why don't we like brainstorm? Like, I really like how you approach light this way. Or like, it is the awkward conversation where I quote freaking Amanda Bynes, do you like cheese? But like, it's, you just got to do it. You got to break the ice. You got to do the networking. And the more people you know, and also I don't remember where I was reading this, where it might have actually, I've been listening to a podcast, but somebody was talking about how the most popular people like the most people. So you got to stop saying you hate people.
Yeah.
Like you have to go out there and like people and talk to them, and
we're in the industry of people.
Yes. And it's
I genuinely love people. I love them. Like sometimes they can be a little silly goofy, but like, I am a people person. I can't be alone. I can't do it.
I mean, I enjoy my alone time, and then well, it's been 37 minutes.
Deeper rooted. Maybe I don't want to be alone with my thoughts or something, but
well, that's why you got me. No, I'm just kidding.
That's worse. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
So true. Anyway, but like getting out there, meeting people, talking to people, the more people you talk to, the more connections you make, the more everyone's going to have like a little story about you. And I feel like I'm trying to say it in a way it's like, I'm not trying to be fake. I'm not trying to be friends with everyone. I'm just trying to have a conversation.
Well, you're just trying to meet people.
Meet people, greet them, see where like, oh, like this is really cool. This person does this, because I got a wedding inquiry the other day. Yeah, I could have totally gave them my pricing. I could have totally served them. But in my mind, I was like, there's this other photographer. You are their dream client, dream client. And I can give them that inquiry, because that would just fireworks their mind. Amazing. And like for me, I'm like, yeah, I could still serve them. They're great people. They're nice. But I know someone else could have served them better. And because I knew that connection, I made that connection. I sent them their name. I was like, actually, I really feel like this person is your person. I love that you reached out to me. I'd still love to work with you someday. Maybe we could do a session, but for your wedding, this person is your person. Like, go reach out to them. And like, that's why I'm like so passionate about like meeting people and knowing them, because I'm not the photographer for everyone. I'm not everyone's person, but the more people I know, the more I can be like, they're in my directory, they're in my encyclopedia. Like, I'm going to pull this person out.
Another way that is kind of attached to vendors and like meeting people is styled shoots or like open houses at a venue. Like physically going to a location and taking photos and then like posting them, or putting on a styled shoot, or attending a styled shoot and connecting with those vendors and those photographers. I think it's funny because just like you were saying about passing off a wedding client, most photographers or most people outside of the photography community are like, oh, everybody's competition. When it's like, if you're great friends with photographers, like
it's just a giant circle.
The amount of bookings that I've gotten from referrals from other photographers too, like we're all helping each other out. Like, you got to find your people.
Well, and like, I was thinking about this too, as I wanted to like send people certain inquiries, but then I also, I know like you put good karma in the world, good karma comes back. And it's like, I would rather send people certain things. And I don't know. I like talking to people. I love listening to their stories. And I know my husband's going to kill me for this. Being an introvert, like he doesn't want to talk. Like he's like, he has his people, but he doesn't want to like go out of his way. And that's why I'm like, I'm speaking to you right now, introverts. You can do this.
Oh yeah.
And like, it's not, we're all in the same industry. Like we're all trying to make art together. So yeah. Okay. I think
if Jamie and I can make a podcast and content and we are the most unserious people ever, you can do anything.
Plug for you to watch our Instagram stories. No. Okay. Besides networking. Oh, I remember what else I was going to say. When you get content at these venues or these other vendors, please be strategic with how you blog it, with how you put it on your website, how you Google, how you do strategy
Should we share
matters.
Our review tip?
I mean, you can if you want to. We shouldn't tell them all the time. No, I'm just kidding.
Never mind. Holding that. No, I'm just kidding. If you go to an open house or you shoot a wedding at a venue or a location, using that content in like Google reviews and leaving the pictures in Google reviews, people will see that. So they'll see your work. It'll get viewed. It'll help like traction. It's a really good strategy.
Also, because I know this applies in 2025. When I say strategically blogging, making sure it's original content, making sure you're speaking to your ideal client, but also using a strategic keyword that you're trying to rank for. Chat GTP.
GPT?
Either way, Chatty McChatterson is sourcing blog posts when people are searching.
Yeah. Oh, Jamie came up on my Chat GPT the other day because I was looking up for ideas. I can't even remember what it was for, honestly, but that's besides the point. I was talking to Chatty and, hey, can I have ideas for XYZ? And it pulled like blog information from blog posts, and it said Jamie Tobin photography.
Yeah,
Jamie
you sent me
Tobin
a
photography.
screenshot.
I was like, girly pop.
I was like, this is why original content with a strategy matters, and making sure that like, because I know everyone listening for the most part is a mom, wants to be a mom. You have to find a content strategy, a posting schedule that works for you. And I know I challenged our students. I want to see you guys blog once a month, but I want that blog post to be very strategic, written in a way that's you're talking to a human, but also so Google can find you. And it has everything to do with using the right words and using that keyword naturally. But like, this is me getting technical, but also like giving good information that's written from your voice, your point of view to your clients.
Well, and when you do that, it makes more content. You can make an Instagram post out of it. You can make a Pinterest pin out of it. You can turn it into a reel. Like, it can be repurposed so many times.
Yeah. I cannot wait for the summer to see what happens with my Pinterest strategies.
Some Pinterest strategies.
I'm testing Pinterest strategies that work for busy moms. So like, you feel like you can keep up with posting on Instagram and Pinterest in your blog, but you also don't feel overwhelmed because we get it. We have kids.
Well, that's the problem. I feel like a lot of times is at being busy moms. It's like, no, just we're very like business oriented, but also just like, tell me how to do it. Like, I don't need fluff. Like, please just tell me, do X, Y, Z, done. Like, that's what we need.
Yes. Okay. So we have strategic blogging, venues, networking, and like the networking, that's literally a spider web because that leads to the Instagram post, the blogging, the meeting of the clients seeing your work, seeing you've already been there, being able to tag people on the business reviews, being able to tag people on Facebook reviews.
Well, working on the stuff that people don't really see. Like, I know our go-to is like, oh, let's make reels and let's do all this stuff because it's flashy and you can see it and it feels like you're doing something because it's visual. Like, yes, I'm putting something out there and everyone can see it. But most of the time, it's the stuff that the people don't see that actually pushes the needle forward. The blogging, the unsexy systems. Okay.
Well, and that's why we're talking about circling way back to the beginning, hustling where you need to be able to do the flashy stuff. So yeah, right now we made our students hustle to get their workflows, their automation, their content strategies, their schedule. And like, yeah, they want to, like, for the most part, people are like, oh, tell me about Google Ads. Tell me about this. And I'm like, no, pause.
Back.
We got to do the plumbing and the electric before we can do the design. Like, we got to do the unsexy stuff that costs money. That once you have those things set up, then you can do the pretty stuff.
Yes.
Then you can do the flashy stuff. And that's why, like, not to plug Momtog Mastermind again, I guess, but like, that's why it's like, okay, pause. Before we do this, we got to make sure you're set up to nurture your leads. We got to make sure you're set up to onboard and offboard them, but also be able to keep up with them. So like, for like quick wins for getting quick sessions and everything, like, let's make sure we can email them and be like, hey, I'd love to catch up with you and your family. I'd love to do this. And I recently did a huge mini marathon because my goal was to buy a new lens.
And you did it.
And I did it. But like, the way I did it, I didn't even release this to the public until they asked for more session dates because it sold out to my clients. Because my clients were like, oh my gosh, this sounds so much fun. Like, let's get you that lens. And honestly, in my mind, I was like, oh my God, guys, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Like, literally, it was so cool to see them sell out so fast because I was like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm trying something new. And then when it worked and then I started analyzing why it worked, I was like, okay, that's cool.
Right. Well, I also want to give moms permission to pivot.
Yes.
So when something doesn't work or you need not necessarily like a quick win, but let's say just because, again, this just recently happened. We just closed the mastermind. So it's fresh in my brain. But if you're going on maternity leave and you're like, okay, I need to work on XYZ for weddings or whatever, but I would like to find other avenues to save up for maternity leave. That's okay. Like, it's okay if you aren't used to doing something or don't usually offer something, but then want to turn around and offer something else in that season. I think sometimes we get caught up in this, no, this is what I do. This is my brand. This is what people want. This is what makes sense. You don't have to keep yourself in a box. I feel like so often we're told, this is your business. This is your brand. This is how people want to perceive you, and pick one thing that you're known for. And it's like, that's great. That's great if you're known for that. I love that. But it's okay to do other things every now and then. You don't have to be so rigid. And if you're in a season where you need to do that, that's okay. Like Jamie and I have both done that. We've both pivoted. We've both done different things in different seasons. Like you don't have to follow such a strict rule. Well,
and plus, like we were talking about it. We're like business owners that allow themselves to pivot and grow and change. They're still around. They survive. The ones that are like, I have to only do this, they end up burning out or quitting or doing something else. And it's literally, it's business. It's entrepreneurship. You have to be brave enough to be like, let's try it. Let's just do it. And like, honestly, like, I know I have been that person. People are like, oh, she just jumps. And I'm like, yeah, I do just jump. I think about how to fix it later.
We try new things all the time. And that's another thing too with pivoting or any of this is if something doesn't work, that's okay. I think we can get in our heads about failure. Like you can wallow for a minute, get a tub of ice cream, sit in the bathtub, turn the shower on, like you're good. But then after that, try something else. That just adds to your list of like, okay, it didn't work this way. How can we execute it a different way then? How can we try something else? It's all just like trying different strategies. We all do it and it's okay. We've all had things that have flopped. We all have.
Well, and I feel like sometimes we're like, oh, well, like I tried this and only one person, I tried this product or like I did put out a course once and no one bought it. And I was like, oh, well, no one thinks I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
And then I did something else and it sold out. And I'm like, oh, I just didn't market it the right way. It didn't hit the right way, but that's okay. Like
sometimes it's something as simple as like the phrasing of something or the way that you marketed it. Like it's all just a giant experiment in a sense.
That's
like,
all businesses.
And then once you do find something that works, like rinse and repeat. Like that is what a lot of people do. Like if you watch anybody who like sells anything or markets anything, a lot of it is like they found what works for them and then they'll rinse and repeat it.
But also if it works for them, it doesn't mean it's going to work for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like we have told our coaching students like, hey, try this. We've tried it. See if it works for you. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, let's try this then.
Exactly.
This didn't work for me, but this might work for you.
Yep.
And like, there's no one right way to do one thing and there's no wrong way to hustle or right way to hustle. It's just like, what is your personal goal for your family and your business? And then what are some like things we can try right now to get you to that? And that might look so different than what I'm doing, what you're doing, what Jim Bob Sarah's doing.
Jim Bob Sarah. Playing into your strengths. Like we're not all great at everything.
I'm so bad at TikTok.
Like I think making content is so fun. Like I have grown to love it.
I love it, but I'm just like, oh man, Alex does it way better than me.
Gosh, I have grown to love it. And other people are like, no, I hate it. But then when it comes to like blogging, I'm like, Jamie is so good at all that, like the numbers, the SEO, like all of that. And so like blogging might get her clients, but maybe like a reel or something I made did well. You know what I mean? Like having those different strengths and playing into that and learning to grow and pivot and change when you need to. I also think like when you, again, back to the maternity leave example, or if you you're trying to save up for something or whatever, it is so totally okay to not only offer things that you didn't normally offer, but like to change entirely how you want to do it too. Like I think,
or even to change your business after you have kids and you realize I want to do more family sessions.
Yep.
That's okay. You don't have to stay in something you don't love. Honestly, I would encourage you to quit it if you don't love it.
100%.
Like, because if you're not going to put your whole heart into it and you want to do something else, change it.
If you don't like wake up thinking about it, Jamie and I are psycho.
No, literally, I woke up before Alex this morning, which is so weird because you guys know I'm not a morning person. And I was waiting for Alex to wake up and then she kind of like rolled over. I'm like, are you awake? Hi. Do you want to make content?
I literally grabbed my phone, look at it and went, oh, I booked a wedding. Let me countersign that quick. Like seconds after my eyes.
6:30 in the morning. I'm like, oh my God, this is so exciting. And then, yeah, like I got a wedding booking yesterday and I was like, Alex.
It's always during travel. I feel like I always get inquiries, bookings, messages while traveling.
Yeah. It made me so excited. And I'm just like,
we're traveling right now, by the way.
Yeah. And I was like, I couldn't wait to show Alex like, oh my gosh, I'm putting this welcome box together and I got these custom elements for my clients. So these things, like if you're watching the video, you can see how excited we're getting. But like, that's what I mean. But if you were to be like, oh yeah, I got a new newborn wrap. And I'm like, to like put on your head? Like, you know, but like that sort of like, I totally appreciate my newborn photographers. I love them, but it doesn't bring me the same joy that weddings and coaching does. But like if I were to ask my newborn photographer friends, they'd be like, weddings stress me the hell out.
I know, like if I were to get a senior session inquiry, I'd be like, oh, okay, that's cool. Or if it's like a senior I know or something, it's like, oh, like, okay, like that would be fun. But I know for one of our coaching students, like she would be like crying in tears, joy.
So excited.
Yeah. So
but again,
find your
networking.
Things. Yes.
Where it's like, I know that person would absolutely die to photograph this.
Yes.
And I'm just, that's what, yeah. Okay. So seasons of hustle, being not afraid to pivot into certain things, making sure that you actually love what you're doing. It huge. Really does play a huge role in your business.
Can tell. Everybody can tell. Like if you just light up. Jamie and I were photographing a wedding yesterday, and the bride was like, "You guys are a dynamic duo. Like,
she's like, do you do this often?
Do you do this often?" I was like, "Well, actually."
Well,
we kind of live and breathe the same air.
Oh my goodness.
But like people can tell when you love what you do.
My favorite review came from a wedding guest.
Is it the airdrop photo?
He took a photo of me, airdropped it, and he's like, "You just look like you love your job." And I'm like,
it's the best compliment.
Wanted to cry. I was like, I do.
I do love it. Thank you for noticing.
No, anyway, but like this is what we're talking about. And if you feel like I really want something, set a goal, write it down, write how you can hustle, where you can. And sometimes, I'll be totally honest, that means having to pay for extra childcare. That means having to stay up late.
Having to make different sacrifices in that season too. My favorite goal hack is to goal map. You write out your goal and you work backward. Like, okay, so I'm just going to say an example. Okay. I am going to do a series of mini sessions because we were just talking about that in a few months. I'm not actually doing this. I'm just for example's sake. In a few months, I'm going to do some mini sessions. Okay. Now work backward. Okay. When do I need these booked by? And then how am I going to market this? When do I start marketing it that it's going to be fresh in people's brains? It's far enough out where they can plan, but not too far away where they're going to like forget about it or want to do something else. Take your goal and work backward. And then it will give you it'll just make you feel better to have a plan in place. Like, okay, this is my goal and this is how I'm going to reach it.
Because I think for all ADHD, then we're going to be like, okay, here.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I think we're like, okay, this is my goal. Now what? Like, I think if you actually physically, and I'm talking physically, like not even in your phone, nothing, like take a piece of paper because it sticks in your brain a lot better and write down your goal, work backwards with dates and times and ideas and write it all down and work backward. And then you can go from the bottom up and try to reach it.
Well, and I feel like sometimes people are like, they'll see someone like, I just made $23,000 this month off passive income. They don't tell you that they spent the last 6 months staying up till midnight, redesigning the landing pages, getting emails set up and scheduled, getting copy set up and tested, getting like, there's so many little steps that takes you have to hustle to get to the coast season.
Exactly. And maybe they've been working on tweaking that product for over a year. Like they were probably hustling, like Jamie said, after bedtime, during nap time, on top of all the other work that they were doing. Paid for extra childcare. Like there is so much legwork behind the scenes that nobody shows.
And it's hard as a mom. It is so hard as a mom because we have to not only think about our business, our family life, and everything, because everybody knows we run the house, we run the schedules. And it's just, I just want to encourage you, if you have a goal, it's okay to be tired and to be in that hustle season. If you don't give up, it's going to pay off. Also, it's going to.
Mom hack during this season with a chat GPT, little chatty boy. You can run your meal plan through chat GPT. I did that to help myself recently. I was like, I have so much work to do. And then like we're traveling and I need to go to the grocery store because we're out of food. You can type in like, this is my family. This is our plan. This is how many meals I need. Blah, blah, blah. And it will give you a meal plan. And then you can say, can I have a shopping list? And it will give you a shopping list.
I'm just like sitting here thinking, meanwhile, I have this little app called DoorDash.
Not me. I've never lived in a place where I can order food like that. Even in the town I live in now, I can't do it.
But here you go. You got chatty for your groceries.
I also like My husband and I will not pay for that. I'm like, if like we won't go to Olive Garden. I've been to Olive Garden once in my life. If I can make pasta at home with sauce, I will not pay 10 times more for it.
I can't think of the last time I was at Olive Garden. This is
so
funny.
many of the people I'm around love it.
Okay, bro, before we get too distracted. Okay. Hustling in seasons is okay. Pivoting is okay. Do what you need to do to pay your bills and do what you need to do to get to your goal. It's okay that you have to do certain things, and sometimes you have to pick and choose what sacrifices to make. But just like me and you are in a hustle year right now, we want to encourage you. If you have a big goal, like we had a big goal, we didn't do this just from a couch. We did this from late nights, long childcare hours. And
if you can't, your children is not going to. Your children is. Take advice from me. I'm really smart.
Yeah.
Your child or children will not lose brain cells from an afternoon of TV if you have to get work done.
Miss Rachel and Daniel Tiger.
I'm like, if you can't afford extra childcare, like it is okay. It is okay sometimes to like do that, or let them do a craft that's going to consume their time.
Also, I know it sucks to stay up until midnight, but sometimes we have to do it.
I'm just trying to think of the moms who are like, yes, I need extra childcare, but like, I don't know anybody. I don't have any, I don't have the budget. Like there are things.
And I'm thinking of who's staying up late right now. And it's like, I'm really tired, but also I want to paint this picture. And if you have to, set your phone up and record you working late so that in a month from now, you can look back at that and like, I worked my ass off.
Like that paid off. It won't always be like that.
No.
It won't always be like that. They do grow up so fast and the seasons do change that like, I promise, like looking back at myself through those times and being like, I'm so freaking tired. And now like my kids are a little older and like my youngest is 2, but it's like, okay,
we did
it. I'm here.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Well, I think this was a good pep talk for you, encouraging you to hustle when you need to. And sometimes you have to hustle. You're not going to get there if you don't put in the work. So this is me being tough love. Put in the work because I believe in you.
And you can do it.
Yeah.
Vibes.
Cheesy. All right. We will see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.